सर प्रशांत देशपांडे सर यांची पण उपस्थिती आहे. माननीय डॉक्टर सी एस पद्माव सर, डॉक्टर जाधव सर, डॉक्टर गौतम शाह सर, आपले लाडकी प्राध्यापक मुंबई सर,
all the respected gentlemen and all my lovely and charming students. It's my absolute pleasure to extend a hearty welcome to each one of you. Today we all gather here for the expert talk on Mission Chandrayaan and ISRO career opportunities by Ms. UMADEVI Kannayan ma'am, scientist, engineer, SDUR Rao Satellite Center, ISRO, as well as head of orbit trajectory design and manual planning decision. We are thrilled to witness such enthusiastic speaker and highly learned audience gathered to deepen their understanding of this significant topic. I think this expert talk will be fruitful and inspiring to our students. First of all, I will call to our honorable chief guest and all the dignitaries for lamp lighting and Saraswati Puja. Kalpana Sabha ma'am and Dr. Ratnadeep Deshmukh sir and Deshmukh ma'am and Prashant Deshpande sir to come on the dais. Sir, please. Dear students, now it's time to felicitate our chief guest. So I request Kalpana Jha ma'am to welcome and felicitate our chief guest, Miss Umadevi ma'am. Then I request Dr. Saha sir. Then I request Dr. Saha sir to felicitate Prashant Deshpande sir, Managing Director, Expert Global Solution and E-Mobility. He is with us from the opening of our college. Then I request Dr. Sangeeta Kakavan ma'am to felicitate Mrs. Deshmukh ma'am. Now it's my duty to introduce the inspiring and charming personality of our chief guest, Umadevi ma'am. Mrs. Umadevi currently heads the Orbit Trajectory Design and Maneuver Planning Division at UR Rao Satellite Center, ISRO, located in Bangalore. She started her career as a scientist at the National Remote Sensing Agency, ISRO, Hyderabad, in the year 1996, and later moved to ISRO Satellite Center, Bangalore, in 1997. She completed her bachelor's degree in computer science from Bangalore University, followed by her master's degree in engineering in software systems from BITS Pilani. She is a member of the ISRO Centralized Recruitment Board and some departmental promotion committees. During the span of her illustrious career, spanning over more than 27 years, Mrs. Umadevi has made critical contributions towards the conceptualization, design, and development of various flight dynamic software systems such as maneuver planning, orbit selection, attitude determination, and orbit trajectory design for all the low Earth orbit, geostationary, and interplanetary missions. She heads the team that is responsible for trajectory design and maneuver planning for the prestigious Chandrayaan-3 mission. She is the chairperson of the Internal Test and Evaluation Committee for Flight Dynamic Softwares of Chandrayaan-3. Not just Chandrayaan-3. She has been an integral part of Chandrayaan-1 and 2 missions as well. Mrs. Umadevi work extends across the globe, and her team also works in collaboration with NASA. She is the Deputy Project Director for NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar Satellite. The next big project for Mrs. Umadevi is the long-awaited ISRO project, which is the Human Space Flight Mission, that is Gangayaan, of which she is the Deputy Project Director. In addition to this, she is also training the shortlisted astronauts in the area of her expertise for this mission. Among the many feathers in her cap, she is the re-entry design software for the space capsule recovery experiment. Her work has given several useful design insights for the human space mission. She has also had many publications in renowned international journals and conferences and is a life member of the Indian Society of Remote Sensing, Astronautical Society of India, Indian Society of Systems for Science and Engineering, and life fellow member of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers of India. Now, I request ma'am to give her expert talk to our students and inspire them with her words. Thank you.
Sir, gitu itu, sir, untuk berhenti. Lihat saya angle Pak. ते चेंज करावं लागतं. हायडू लागलं लॅपटॉप होतं. Hello, check. Hello.
Hello. Okay, I will use only the dais for some time, then I would like to move around so that I can see properly the slides.
थोड़ी सी हमें दादो से थोड़ी सी हमें
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for giving such a illustrious introduction of me to all of you. Thank you so much. So as I am addressing you all today, I know most of you are a diploma or engineering student. I want to tell you that you made a right choice taking engineering, because now engineering is the everywhere. Like engineering is a must. Now you take your infrastructure like roads or your pipelines, your smartphones in your pockets or your computers in your schools, colleges, everywhere engineering is there. So it is really a very good choice. I wish you all the best to pursue. So that like engineers are those who are the building blocks between society and the technology. So all the best for all of you. So before, as I was told, my topic is about Chandrayaan 3 and career opportunities in ISRO. So I thought first I will introduce what is ISRO. People might have read. So give some brief introduction about the history of ISRO, and then the accomplishments what we had done in ISRO, and then talk about Chandrayaan 3 and the future projects and the career opportunities in ISRO. So let us go ahead. So I will be moving around because I can't see that well. So coming to the history of ISRO, as we all know, the founding father of our Indian space program was Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. So during the Tokyo Olympics game, that time the Americans have launched communication satellite. So and it was telecasted. This program was telecasted worldwide. So that is when Vikram Sarabhai thought it can be used for all of our society. The space technologies can be used for the upliftment of the society. Then he brought all the brains and all the intellectuals around the country and formed an group or a society, what we call it as Indian National Committee for Space Research in Sponsor. It was set up in 1962 under the Department of Atomic Energy. Subsequently, ISRO was formed and was established in August 1960 in place of ISRO. The Government of India constituted Space Commission and established Department of Space in 1972 and brought in ISRO under DOAs in September 1972. So the main vision of the ISRO formation was to harness, sustain and augment space technology for national development while pursuing space science research and planetary exploration. So how ISRO was formed? The first rocket was launched from this place. As we all know, this is a church in Tumba in Trivandrum. This was used served as an office for scientists in the early stages of Indian space program. So from this church only the first rocket was launched in 1963, and now this place is a museum. So if you people have an opportunity, please go and visit this place. This is where first our rockets were launched. And at that time, how our rockets were transported? They were transported on bicycles, then bullock carts. That's how our rocket components were transported. And then this is the first satellite in 1981, which is an Apple. This is a communication satellite which we had transported on the bullock cart. This was the first in 1981, the first Indian communication satellite. After that, science developed and we also used all the infrastructure. So in 1960, first sounding rocket was launched, The sounding rockets, even now we have 3 categories of sounding rockets. We enter the atmosphere, suppose we want to test any new components that we want to use in our satellites or in our rockets. We use the sounding rockets so that it gets into atmosphere, so we can test. So even now we are using the sounding rockets. Next comes the 1980, which is the satellite launch, 1980, which is satellite launch vehicle. It can carry about 40 kgs of payload mass. So for this, Dr. Abdul Kalam, he was the project director for this. This was the first launch vehicle. ASLV, that is Augmented Satellite Launch Vehicle, that can carry off about 150 kg satellite payload mass it can carry. It was more augmented, like we had a guidance system, like 2 boosters were there. You can see.
Which one? Your point,
Yeah, these 2 boosters were augmented. Many augmentation was done, and this was launched in 1989. After that, we had our operational launch vehicle, PSLV, GSLV Mark III. No matter what this PSLV is. This is the PSLV is the bed earner for ISRO now. Almost 98% of it, reliability is that well. Most of the launches are done by PSLV. Next is GSLV. This is the post geostationary orbit. It can carry about 2.4 tons of the payload. It's GSLV Mark III, which we call it as a naughty boy also, because they had many failures, and now it is more reliable launch vehicle. It can carry about 4 tons of the payload. So this is our operationally now what we are using in our Indian Space Research Organization. Next, the expansion is SSLV, which we call it as the small satellite launch vehicle. This is launch on demand. Suppose if you within 15 days we can integrate this launch vehicle and we can launch. For civilian purpose or strategic purpose, we can launch this vehicle. It can carry about 500 kg of satellite. Next is the human-rated launch vehicle, because Gaganyaan is where we are planning to send the crew members. So we require a launch vehicle that is 100% reliable, because we are carrying the human, right? So human-rated launch vehicle, that is under expansion and the development. That is what is our next expansion. And we have some more, that is a reusable launch vehicle also are there, where we can use so that it becomes cost effective also. Such launch vehicles are also we are planning. Next, coming to the satellite. So far I was talking about the launch vehicle. Now coming to satellite, from which organization I am coming from. So the first satellite was what we call as Aryabhatta. It was launched from Soviet Union, and the name is named after the famous astronomer Aryabhatta. So after that, we have many categories of launch, of satellites for many applications. We have like for land and resource management, for cartographic and large scale mapping, environmental monitoring, atmospheric research. We have many applications, and these satellites are launched in a low Earth orbit. From 800 to 1000 kilometer orbit, these satellites are launched, and these are used for these applications. And we have communication satellites. So communication satellites are those satellites which we launch, and like your Doordarshan and all what we see comes from these kind of satellites. So this will be about 36,000 kilometers from the Earth radius. It has got the same orbital period as that of the Earth, 24 hours. So these satellites are used for direct to home, telemedicine, education, radio broadcasting. These satellites also, we have this category of satellites also we launch. Next is the navigation. So as you are all heard of GPS. GPS is done by the American Defense Force. Anytime they can withdraw. It's not a reliable source. As long as it is there, we are using. So we thought we will also use our own navigation purpose, at least for our Indian region. So that is what we call it as IRNSS. There's a fleet of 7 satellites put in the geostationary or geosynchronous. So geostationary, as I told, it's a 36,000 kilometer orbit. If it is there, that is what we call it as geostationary orbit, because it's stationary, because it's moving similar, same as that of the Earth's rotation, the 24 hours. So if you keep the satellites at this thing gives solution all time and all in all weather conditions, and it can be it can extend up to 1,500 kilometers around India also. Next comes the other thing is human space flight program. The technology development. Before this, we had one technology development satellite, what we call it as an SRE. So that was the first mission where my development, or I developed a software for the re-entry mission. So this SRE, which was launched as PSLV, and it was there in the orbit for about 12 days in the orbit, and then we flashed it down into the Bay of Bengal. So this is mainly to demonstrate the capability of recovering a space capsule, and to test the navigation, guidance, control, how to recover, and how to manage the communication blackouts. So all this technology, all these experiments were carried out in this experimental capsule. So that is what we'll be using. That is what we'll be using to apply in our Gaganyaan 2 mission, which will be in the near future in the project where we'll be using all these technologies. Next comes the space science missions. Space science mission, as we know, Chandrayaan 1 was the first space science mission which we. Before that, we had AstroSat. AstroSat is again a low Earth orbit mission. So this is like a telescope in space, but because it's not so talked about, because it's a low Earth orbit only, because like any other mission, this is also low Earth orbit. So this actually gave so much of science. So many people have done so many publications on this data which was collected from this satellite. Then comes the real challenge, Chandrayaan 1, which was launched in October 2008. It was there for about year up to 2009, and it had an orbiter and an impactor. So what we did is we just went to the moon, and there was an impactor. It was just inserted into the surface of the moon. So that was a mission of Chandrayaan 1. So first attempt we were successful. Next came the MOM, which we lovingly call it as MOM, Mars Orbiter Mission. This was launched in 2013. It has a mission life for about 6 months, but it went on for about 7 years. It had given so much of science data, so the science is going on. People have used this data and published so many papers also. Next is Chandrayaan 2. Chandrayaan 2 is the where we attempted our first soft landing. So Chandrayaan 1, it was just an impactor. There was an impactor, it was just an impactor. So we tried in Chandrayaan 2 the first soft landing. It had an orbiter, it had a lander, it had a rover in it. It was almost 98%. We went to the moon, we were descending also. The last 4 minutes, a small issue, we couldn't land. So this mission was declared as, it was not a success. But we have accomplished, and we have studied, and we have, from this thing, we have learned so many things, and the next 4 years, all the issues what was there we have incorporated, and next we attempted Chandrayaan 3. So before getting into Chandrayaan 3, okay, I just put a slide. So far, what is our accomplishment by ISRO? So 125 spacecraft missions we did, 94 launch missions, 15 student satellites also we have launched, 2 re-entry missions, 431 foreign satellites, and 3 satellites realized by private players also we have launched. Next comes the Chandrayaan 3. As we know, it is a follow-on mission of Chandrayaan 2. It's soft landing. It consists of a lander, rover, and it was launched in from Shah. It had both, as this shows, it has a propulsion module and a lander. Before we play one video.
Sound.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal, clear tracking. Auto tracking. Auto tracking. Update performance normal. Auto tracking. Balloon stage ignited.
Plus 2 minutes.
Balloon stage performance normal. The stages are separated. Off-road guidance initiated.
So these are the two solid motors which carry the launch vehicle. After some time you can see they get separated. This is Chandrayaan 3 separation after its launch. This is all taken from the onboard camera. So it doesn't mean now we have gone to moon. We have just launched it. Now only our journey starts. How to go to moon. So this is the work done by me and my team. We are about 10 people. So the launch. So whatever is that launch vehicle, what it gave us the altitude is about 175,36,000 is what the orbit what the launch vehicle had given us. So this 170 is the what we call it as a perigee. This is the closest point to the Earth, and 36,000 is the farthest point to the Earth. Now where we have to go? We have to go to 3 lakhs kilometer, right? Where is the moon? We have to go there. So we cannot go in one stretch because we don't have that much capacity either from the launch vehicle or in the satellites. Directly we cannot go. So what we did is we made a few rounds around the Earth and then got captured into moon and made few more rounds around moon, and finally we have landed on the moon. So while on the Earth we made about 5 rounds on the Earth. So from 170 to 36,000 kilometers, we came to about 226 to 1,27,000 kilometers is what we made here. And then this lunar transfer trajectory is a very, very crucial operations, because even a single small error also we will miss the moon. So with the trajectory, and from the beginning it has to be designed in such a way the moon will be coming, and then we have to go and get into its sphere of influence. Go away from the SOI of Earth and then get it captured into the moon's sphere of influence. So once we got in there, then we were around the moon about 166 by 18,000 kilometers was the orbit which we were there around the moon. So here also we had to, for landing we have to come down. So here also we have used, so all these were carried out by the propulsion module. So as I told, the Chandrayaan carried a propulsion module and then a lander. Inside that rover was there. So all these things were carried by the propulsion module until we went to 154 by 164. That is where we got separated from the lander and the propulsion module got separated. Now it is a job of lander. Lander also has got 5 thrusters, 440 Newton thrusters. So those thrusters were used for landing purpose. As we know, moon has no atmosphere, so we have to use our propulsion system only to land. So that was carried out by the lander itself. So there about we have done 2 maneuvers there. So finally we landed on 30 by 100 kilometers is where we have to start our descent to land on the moon. So once we are 30 by 100 kilometers, then on the 23rd of August, this was the day where we landed on the moon. And it was landed at altitude of minus 69.37 degree and longitude of 32.35 degrees is where we have landed on the moon. So this is where we created history. So we are so proud of it, and the country is also proud of it. So it was there, this lander, then after lander landed, because when it's landing we are using thrusters, right, lot of dust come out. So we have to wait for the dust to settle. Then after that the rover came out and we have used the lander. Lander had got so many payloads, we tested, and some signs in the initial studies they have told that they have found sulfur. So some more data we have got, some more science will be carried out, some more findings maybe we will come out. So next mission, so the nation was celebrating, but for us it was not big. We had to get into next mission, Aditya mission. We were there still in the control center only, preparing for our next launch. So that is the Aditya L1 launch, where we have a mission to go to study the sun. I mean, for that we have chosen a point called L1 point, Lagrangian points, and we know for every 2 system, either maybe sun, Earth, or Mars, Earth, Moon, Earth, every have got a 5 points, 5 points where the gravitational force of these 2 celestial pairs, such as, for example, if you take sun and the Earth are in equilibrium. So this allows, suppose we place any small object which remains relatively stable at this point with respect to both these celestial bodies. So this was a point. So we have chosen L1 point because we wanted to study the sun. So we can directly, the payloads will be pointing towards the sun, and the other side it will be, the communication system will be pointing towards the Earth. So that always 24/7 we will be able to monitor and do these sites. So this was the orbit that was chosen for L1. So this also, the orbit what we got was launched, what we got was 230 by 19,500 kilometers was the orbit what we got. Here also we have done many earthbound manuals. Then the final one is now we carried out a week ago. So then now it is it's gone out of the Earth's sphere of influence, and it is moving towards the L1 point, which is about 15 lakh kilometers from the Earth. So once we go there in January, it will take about 129 days. In January we will be into this L1 orbit, and the science will be done, and we may get many science, new things that come out from here. It is mainly to study the sun. So before the video was there.
We did.
Yeah, it's great.
control and dynamics of the solar atmosphere, solar wind distribution, temperature, and so on. Laptop demonstration of the open Mars injections.
Is expected to provide deeper understanding of the heating and solar wind acceleration, connecting dynamics of the solar atmosphere, solar wind distribution, temperature anisotropy, and initiation of coronal mass ejections, flares, and near-Earth space weather. The Aditya N1 mission has various uniqueness. The mission will provide, for the first time, spatially resolved solar disk in near UV band and observe CME dynamics very close to the solar disk. The mission will have onboard intelligence to detect solar and solar flares and provide directional and energy anisotropy of solar wind. The Aditya N1 mission is unique in its capabilities. The mission probes the dynamics of the coronal mass ejection close to the solar disk, which provides information on the acceleration regime of the coronal mass ejection. The mission also captures the information on the energy distribution, flux, and directionality of the solar wind. This also enables getting early information on the space weather events.
Coming to the future missions of ISRO, there's maybe this next March we will be having one launch. That's what we call as NISA. That's in collaboration with NASA and ISRO. This is in the low Earth orbit. It's mainly to study the changes in the Earth ecosystem, biomass, vegetation, biomass, sea level rise, groundwater, and natural hazards like earthquakes, tsunami, volcanoes, and landslides. So this is what this our immediate next project is our NASA. Next we have another mission called as space docking mission. So this is we'll be launching 2 satellites and then we'll be doing the docking experiment. This is also first of its kind. We have never attempted it. So that this technology we can use to dock to the ISS. So that docking also. So we are trying out this experiment also. Next we have a Venus mission also. It is known as Sukrayan, which is planned, but still we are waiting for some more clearances for this. But the technology wise and all the required study and report, everything is done for this mission. We are just waiting for the clearance. Next we have another immediate lunar mission which is with collaboration with Japan. So that's called as Olympics. So this also will be going to the other side to explore the other side of the moon. This is what it will be launched. Next is the ExpoSat, which is similar to that of an AstroSat. Whatever I told at first, we have a telescope in the space. So continuation of that AstroSat, we have another mission called as ExpoSat. Okay, coming to the career opportunities in ISRO. okay, I am not the right person to talk about that, but you can go to our website, our ISRO website, isro.gov.in, www. So they have so many, I have also taken from there only. So we have scientific and technical categories will be there. So so in the field of electronic, mechanical, computerized, electrical, physics, chemistry, mathematics, all these people in these fields also they are expecting those theories a thing. But here in ISRO what happens is everything is through a centralized board. First based on your applications will be advertised, then the people will apply and based on their marks, so their cutoff will happen. Then after that there will be an written test will be there. So after the written test, we will have an interview. So this is the process. Based on this, then whoever is the selected people, any center in the country, they can be posted. It's not that it will be posted only if you are applying only to this thing. So based on this, it will be posted in any center you can be posted. Then academic wise, we have an two institute. One is in the Indian Space Technology IIST Trivandrum, another one is Indian Institute of Remote Sensing. These they have some educational and training programs also they conduct. Can be from 2 weeks to 2 years, I guess. So here also, if you are interested, you can go do the courses in this Dehradun. And coming to the facility visits, ISRO, especially URSC encourages for the children, the students to come and visit our center. So in a week, a particular day is allotted. So along with the faculty, you can come and visit. Am I audible? Yeah, this ISRO visit. So students are interested can come and visit ISRO also. Along with your institute has to approach our center and then you can plan and come and visit us. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you for giving your attention.
There will be a question and answer session. Okay. If you have any questions in your mind, any doubt, and if you need any clearance, you can ask. Okay. So, yes, please. One thing, very important information I want to share with you. I shared one name of the website. Our group. Okay. So, Wasim sir, what is the future? You can just have a look. Means you can have hotels in space. So that is future of tourism, and for that purpose, already 3 astronaut missions have been completed, and we should be proud of that. That one person from Marathwada region is an investor in that particular space tourism. Right? The Marathwada company मागे नाही असं डोक्यात ठेवायचे आणि तो फक्त जॉबच्या हिशोबाने he is an investor. And Mr. Gopinath Latpate is the name of that particular investor. Okay, you should know it. This is the company which is going to launch space hotels, space tourism. काय क्वेश्चन्स येतात डोक्यात ते येण्याच्या आधी ते तुम्हाला दाखवतोय की मराठवाड्याचे सुद्धा लोक त्याच्यात आहेत आणि जे काही क्वेश्चन्स असतील ते तुम्ही नंतर विचारू शकता. लँग्वेज मराठी, हिंदी, इंग्लिश तुम्ही मराठीमध्ये विचारणार का इंग्लिशची अडचण असेल तर ठीक आहे, त्यामुळे त्यांना समजून सांगू, पण डोक्यात क्वेश्चन्स आले पाहिजे. ओके.
Chandrayaan 2 was a kind of failure, and then Chandrayaan 3 is a great success. So in between, you people have also gone through a change in like your director has changed. So that phase, like what kind of communication was from the from the upper side how the basic motivation of the entire team was maintained. So can you tell us something about the phase that Chandrayaan 2 failure to Chandrayaan 3 success? Internally, like how?
Yeah, like as you said, the leadership changes. It's not that somebody from outside they come and be there. They'll be a part of that system only. The next is that they come, so there won't be any change. And ISRO is such a thing, like it is a system. It will, even if nobody is there, it will go. It's not that it's dependent on one person. Like it's not like okay, it's because I had an opportunity, I am coming and talking. Like even a smallest thing as a capacitor or resistor, whatever it is, and that also matters. When that fails, the mission is gone. So it's a teamwork. So of course, after the Chandrayaan 2, it was a small issue only. So but that 4 years was a very, very tough for us. Like we had to go through so many reviews, so many things, testings and all that. And we were 100% confident, but still we had an, we don't know what unknowns will be there, right? So, but still there is no like, if there's some leadership changes, something will be, or we have to start from fresh and all that. Because a person from there itself will be there, so it is not an issue. Like at that Chandrayaan 2 time, it was Anna Lorenz who was the director. Then after that, it is now in our center, it was Shankaran who was the director. He was a solar system expert in that time. He had also worked for Chandrayaan 2, so he was taken like that. So that won't stop us. And we in ISRO, we are all self-motivated. We do not have to tell somebody to come and do that, come and do this. It's like once a project is designed, a project director will be assigned to it, and then a few deputy project directors will be there, and the designers will be there, and deputy project directors will be designers also. Sometimes like for Gaganyaan, I am a deputy project director as well as the designer also. So that way, and under that so many other engineers will be working. So there is no break in any of the activities.
Thanks a lot.
Any question? Any question? Doctor question Alice Paji.
People can ask me outside also, no problem, because you may be feeling yeah.
हॅलो मॅम, आपल्याला जो काही मिशन होता चंद्रयानचा, तर तो कम्प्लीट करताना काही बॅरियर आला का टाईमचा? मीन्स टायमिंग खूप महत्त्वाची म्हणतात ना, तर काही प्रॉब्लेम आलेला नाही का टायमिंगमध्ये?
You are asking the timing when you are launched, capturing yeah.
So she is asking about that is whether you face any time barriers while
Yes, yeah, I can answer that. See, we can launch in a month, in a 2 days, whenever the moon comes along the descending node. You may be knowing, no? Earth has got an equator. Correct? We'll extend that. So when the moon is at the descending node only, it's very easy to capture. So other point we cannot capture because moon will just escape and we have to go and get it captured. So in a month we have 2 opportunities. Every month there is an opportunity, 2 opportunities. And then when we are landing on the moon, the sun, when we are landing sunlight is very, very important because we have to support the lander, right? So we have the solar rays on that, so from the sunlight, the battery and all. So much battery capacity we cannot carry. We have some kind of constraint of carrying the vehicle also because our launch vehicle cannot carry so much tons of payload to that much altitude also. So many constraints were there. So in the design of a trajectory, it should be in such a way that we have to land on that particular day then where is the sun elevation should be around 8 degrees or 9 degrees. So that from there we have to sustain 14 days. Because the moon is about 27 days, which means that 14 days is what there will be sunlight, after that it stinks, and then again we have another like that sunlight. So that also is an important thing. So our trajectory we have to design from the beginning, like how many 4 rounds we are doing, and including some backup. Suppose we miss one maneuver, one more backup also, all that we used to take. We have to take care, get captured, and when we are landing, it has to land on that day only. On that day only. So that was one was on 23rd. Another option was, suppose we missed that, there was another landing site also, and the landing site also was chosen in such a way that it should have a flat terrain, because the moon has got lot of craters, boulders and all that. So 4 by 4 was the area, kilometers was the area what was selected, and that point only we have to land. So landing site also was selected, and the sunlight when we are landing also should be up, the sun's horizon should be about 9 degrees. So such point was selected. So they told us, because Modi ji, Prime Minister, wanted to come, he was there 26, we said nothing doing this day only, we have to launch. So landing was, it was, suppose we missed that, then we had to wait for another month, recircular it there, and then only we can land. So it is very time critical only.
So ma'am, I have one question, that when the satellite is getting into multiple orbits, obviously there are many satellites in the space. So how does it maneuver, and does it face any atmospheric challenges in terms of any rough weather kind of stuff?
See, not only this mission, any satellite, even the launch also. When we are launching, we have got another one system for debris. So they check during that time, they see many debris are there. Launch also, most of the times we will get 1 minute, 2 minute delay will be there. Either early or either the launch will be there. Yes. So once launch, that is launch vehicle will be based on that. Satellite also, suppose we do one maneuver, so before really executing that, we have one more group which does like all over full, like they have all these satellites which is less about 10 mm. Till that they can track through radars, that catalog will be there. So all this it will be gone through. Once their clearance is done, only we will further proceed. So that way, for every bird or every satellite, it has to undergo this procedure. Even now that low Earth orbits, which is there in space, every day when they will be monitoring them, and if there is any risk, they will do small maneuvers, and then we have to look at that. So nowadays in our ISRO mission, earlier we used to never account for fuel for all these debris mitigations also, and now there is one more thing, like after its mission accomplishment, we should not leave it there. We have to bring it back. Or bring it back means get into atmosphere, it itself burns. So for that also we are allocating fuel at the design phase itself. So after its mission life, we have to bring it down. So that also is.
Connecting this one. So it's a
Good afternoon, ma'am. 1 second, ma'am.
It's a lunar transfer trajectory. So what is the speed from Earth orbit to the lunar orbit entering?
Yeah, about 10 kilometers per second.
10 kilometers per second.
Outer to inner. Outer to inner.
See, if you want to go out away from the sphere of influence of the Earth, it is about 11.75 kilometers.
Per second.
Yeah, per second. So that only then we get into a parabolic trajectory or hyperbolic trajectory. Parabolic trajectory is okay, we can come back to that. It's in between elliptical as well as hyperbolic. Hyperbolic is we fully go away from the sphere of influence. So that velocity we have to attain, so that and we go closer to the moon, and then again we have to get captured. Otherwise, if we don't capture there, we just escape from moon also. So there also one more burn we have to do so that we get captured. So that also is very crucial.
is that one thing in Chandrayaan 3 but not in Chandrayaan 2?
See, most of them think was the same thing. See, actually in Chandrayaan 2, based on the Chandrayaan 2, we had done a few changes. Like the lander we had 4 legs, they had sensors in that. So based on the sensors, we used to cut off that fuel. And in the lander, in Chandrayaan 2, we didn't have centralized the server that we have put in lander 3. So these are all the changes, some of the changes. And our onboard software is also some changes. Because of that, we got into some problem there. So many changes. Propulsion system we have changed a lot. More detail I can't tell.
I have a second question. जे मिशन कंप्लीट झाल्यानंतर ते E-parts आणि असतं ना त्याचं
What happens to the debris?
No, on the moon we are there. There also now we'll be polluting. Like on the earth, so much is there. In moon we are there only.
Actually, to talk with you. My question is somewhat out of range. Actually, when you are handling that particular mission, that is Chandrayaan 2 or Chandrayaan 3, that time you are having such a lot of pressure on you, and it is what responsibilities on your shoulder. That responsibilities are not only about ISRO, but it is of a whole nation. So you are managing that pressure, you are handling that things. But my students, even not able to handle small exam pressure. So can you guide them about that?
Yeah. Sure. See, everyone should have a hobby. That is very, very important. Cultivate your hobbies. Okay? Either it can be like small things, reading or writing or biking, hiking, anything. Hobby is important so that when you are like traveling, for me every big mission I'd always travel out. I will go out with my family or anything like that. Then I get rejuvenated, then I come back. And you do yoga, meditation, exercising. That is very important to keep you. For you people, okay, meditation and all, I don't know what's the thing. Cultivate your hobbies. So that is very, very important. So that is the only thing I can tell. So that will bring you back to that your thing. So and it should not take like studying or things like a pressure. So if you are having a goal, suppose you want to do something, so that will give you a like focused thing. Like if you can work towards your goal. If you take only from the exam point of view, then that may put a pressure on you. So suppose if you have some life goals, if you work towards that will be more easy. Only things, cultivate your hobbies. That is the only thing.
Hello ma'am, how many problems did you face in Chandrayaan 3?
Chandrayaan 3, not many. Everything went on smoothly only. We did because it was like extensive analysis, extensive simulations. Everything went as per our thing. Nothing. We didn't see any issues.
Share that in ISRO, there are more than 60 to 70% ladies staff, ladies scientists and ladies astronauts, as what the madam also said. When we see the launch of this Chandrayaan 3, also on the screen or in the press, we can see that there is more participation from ladies. So that is a very proud thing for our India. So here are most of the 90% of the ladies. Yes.
Like okay, for ISRO it's a teamwork. It's everybody is involved. The ladies or gents. In ISRO there is no differentiation at all. it's a giant or there's a lady and all that. Everybody will be given an equal opportunities. That's what is ISRO culture. That's how, like, it's not like a male-dominated thing. That's why ladies are also given so much opportunities there, because they consider them as equal.
That is one point, and I would like to share with Madam that in the same hall upstairs, the boy students are there. They are listening, they are giving talks. Not only this, due to space accommodation, yeah. So other than that, I would like to request Madam to share her experience. That is earlier, prior to success of this Chandrayaan 3, we were much more dependent on the foreign countries on these activities, like NASA, but after this successful execution of Chandrayaan 3, what is the international scenario you are experiencing? Because she is working with NASA, and regularly they are having meetings with NASA and all these agencies. So that will be a nice experience to share.
Yeah, actually, as I was telling, we have a NASA mission with the NASA and ISRO collaboration. Earlier, they used to ask a lot of questions like which is not required for them. They are just giving us a payload and then we are just using. But okay, we were very, whatever they answer, they ask, we used to tell them, but now it's not the case. Now we are in the other side and we are so much confident on ourselves. So anything they ask, now we ask back the question, why do you require that? That way we have got the full command or confidence and all that. So we need not have to, even if they are not there, we are confident that we can do it on our own. So that is the current scenario. So that way
नमस्ते मॅम मला विचारायचं होतं की आपल्याकडे आता मूनवरचं जे रात्रीचं टेम्परेचर आहे ते -200°C आहे. तर आपले विक्रम लँडर किंवा प्रज्ञान रोवर जे आहेत ते आपण कुठल्या मटेरियलचं बनवलेलं आहे? कारण -200°C बऱ्यापैकी डिफॉर्मेशन होतं मेटलचे. तर मग आपण कुठले मटेरियल तेव्हा त्यासाठी वापरलेले आहेत?
Yeah, that's what I told, no? When we are landing, we have to get that much sun elevation. Otherwise, as you yourself rightly told, -200 to 250, -250 is the temperature there. So that 14 days only we can sustain that, because we don't have any, that RH1 system is there. That system we are not having, which keeps a component, which keeps the rover heated up. We don't have that. So the 14 days was our mission life. Then after that we have put the thing to sleep. Then as you told, it will go through that all the temperature when it is, then there is no sun. So our components is not sustaining. So after 15 days we try to wake it up. That's why it's not woken up. That was our mission. Thank you. So I think I can understand that.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, I have one question. Our students are having clear concept about their studies, but at the time of implementation they are getting lots of problem. And suppose they want to join ISRO, what is the career for them there? Is there any training program to clear their concept, or how to implement it, or whatever with the career path for them? Can you please elaborate for that?
We are asking after joining ISRO?
Yes.
After joining ISRO, ISRO will take care of them, to teach them whatever they want.
And before joining the ISRO, means academically if they are strong, then what will be the process?
As I told you that joining ISRO is through that centralized board. So 50% is the thing to get into, 50% is a minimum requirement to apply for that. But the competition is so much that 98-99% whoever got only will be screened in. First thing is that. So after that we have a written test. So after that then will be the interviews. Then they will be placed. But ISRO is not only the opportunity. Now ISRO is going to be privatized. So much private company is going to come. We are opening even for the development of satellite, development of launch vehicles. ISRO, they want to keep ISRO only an R&D organization. So many private companies are going to come up. People interested can join, who are interested in space technology can join there. It will not be only ISRO. Thank you, ma'am.
If you presentation, 3 satellites have been launched, which were designed and I think manufactured by students. Right? So you have an opportunity that you can also launch these satellite, your own satellite.
Not only satellite, if you have any component to test also, or any small payload to test also, and if it is space reliable, space worthy, you can definitely approach. They will fly for you. You can do your experiments. So you can go to that website or approach. They will have our PR section also. You can get the details and approach them.
Good afternoon. Ma'am, my question is about, we have 5 Lagrange points. Lagrange points, L1. So why we choose L1 point?
See, as I told, we want to study the sun. So the L1 point and then communication to the earth also. So that L1 point is in between sun and the earth. So the other side, one side you can watch the sun, the other side is the earth. If they are in line, so that we can have both communication as well as the study all 24 bars. So that is the L1 point.
So we will have one last question.
Maybe somebody new.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Actually, I wanted to ask you that as we are going to launch Adityayan, so as I have heard, yes,
Aditya is already launched.
It's already launched.
September 2nd.
Okay, so actually I wanted to ask that as I have heard that many, like most of the points you have took from the transcriptions which were written years ago. So how much did they help you to get there?
See, most of them, whatever you think, is orbital mechanics only. From Kepler, Newton's, that is a simple law.
Not that, ma'am. Like Acharyabhatta and the many ancient peoples who have written already about the sun, like how much is their diameter and the radius and all the things about that. So how much that things help you?
Yeah, actually, okay, for that, NASA, they have their own website, they have studied all those things, and the data directly we use from them. Like how many kilometers the sun is from the earth, and what is the atmosphere model, what is the gravity model, all that are from the HS they are there, we are using, and not only we, so many other countries also, like US or Russians or other people also using, we are also using them.
Do you have any question, ma'am? Pooja, ma'am.
Can I ask? Actually, ma'am, nowadays we are aware of this type of missions. Before Mission Mangal movie, we are not at all aware of what happening in ISRO or in NASA. But from Mission Mangal movie, we are so much, what we can say, inspired, and we are now willing to know what ISRO is doing or what missions they are going to launch in future. So, yeah, as we know, our knowledge resides in villages also. But what happened, English is the barrier to approach such a high-scale institutes. So, is there any ISRO program that to reach to that people who resides in villages?
Yeah, there are programs, there are outreach program also they are having. They are available in that on our ISRO sites. So now as the 23rd, they are declared as the National Space Day. Now will be open to all the students. Now there may be people going to the rural part and they will be teaching about that. So that is one of the reasons why such a day is selected, like Science Day, like that. And related to your first question, the future, I think in my presentation it was there, what are the future missions of ISRO? Hello ma'am, myself Pooja is I want to ask that being in ISRO, you have faced so many problems, you handle a lot of pressure, there were a lot of hurdles, but means as Pallavi ma'am asked that, so you handle all these things in very different manner. I have listened about ISRO that the astronaut who is going in space, he has to prepare a lot, means 6 months he has to be without food or something sort of, means such a difficult situations are there. And for us and our students, we are having only such a situation ki tomorrow is paper, so today's night I have to study and tomorrow I will clear the exam. And we can't handle that much pressure also. So from where you are getting that inspiration and what should be our attitude, how should we tackle to the changing scenario of the world? That's what as I told, no, you should not prepare only before. From the beginning you should start preparing, only then you will not have that pressure. Only one night before if you are sitting and studying, that's it. So hard work is very important, not one day before the exam. You have to hard work from the beginning, and that again depends upon your goal. If you want to set a goal, I want to do this, then definitely you have to work from the beginning. That will ease your pressure. So that is the only thing I can think of it. That's it. Thank you.
Now I request Sahasan to have
Good afternoon, everyone. What a day today. I am sure, as I am overwhelmed, and all of us sitting here, we are overwhelmed. And what you could experience on the TV screen, and you can see one of the legendaries sitting in front of us. And, not only the success of Chandrayaan 3, but ISRO has started making us proud in a different way. And I could see not only on economical ground, but the scientific encouragement that ISRO is spreading, that's wonderful. Like, whatever you are doing right now, I could see many school-going children or college, like engineering students, everybody has started dreaming that let me get into ISRO. So I think that's the contribution of scientific development of any country. And ma'am, we are truly, it's a pleasure for us that you are here and you are enlightening our students, encouraging them, and even being a part of this institution. We feel so proud that today you are part of this institution. And I could see that, from your beginning of your speech that you mentioned about the father of our satellite technology, and you have mentioned about, I think many of us, maybe many students actually did not know the name of Vikram Sarabhai, and today you have mentioned about him, and from there the different development you have mentioned about, you have shown us that we were in a very nascent stage. We were carrying our equipments on bullock carts and cycle, and today we look at the development. I think I could see some reports that a lot of funds started coming, like it's a flooding of funds and the supports from all over the world. And we are now supporting many countries to launch their satellites. Either hundreds of satellites that we have started. So that's a journey that ISRO is experiencing. From there, you have mentioned about Chandrayaan success and also what are the earlier problems. You have also mentioned about the recent Aditya mission is ongoing thing, and then there to the future aspect of what is the next plan. So it's not about reaching to a destination. every time when the ISRO is finding out a new destination, even you mentioned about the Chandrayaan 1 also. I think I was not aware about, I think many of us not aware about this until we come across. So these all are the very impossible things that you are making it possible with the help of our scientists like you and other team members. And I must appreciate the students who have asked questions. You know, this is the phase that where you can learn. And you can't get such legendary every time sitting in front of you and asking your, giving your answer to your questions. So I think I will appreciate others also that please have some courage to ask questions. As Padma sir mentioned that the languages should not be the barrier. She doesn't know Marathi, but she was understanding because she worked so hard. She was taking the words from the other 200. So that's so wonderful. So this is from a side. So ma'am, on behalf of our ICM Institute, even on behalf of entire Marathwada region, I convey my sincere thanks to you for giving your time and sharing your knowledge to us, and request you that at any point of time you have a chance to visit this site, please visit our campus. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Students, we have Mr. Prashant Deshpande sir. He is MD of Expert Global Information. Out of his personal interest, he came across and madam is here, and he is already sitting in front of us, and one of the most successful entrepreneur of Marathwada. So a big round of applause. Yes, and sir is associated with ICM from the inception of our institution. So that's our contribution, and sir will be, I'm sure he will be contributing this and continuing the same way. And I must express my gratitude to Dr. Mr. and Mr. Deshmukh. Because of them only, madam could come here today. So and the relentless support of our trustees, Dr. Zawar sir, Dr. Anand, sitting in front of us, and I thank all the faculty members who has taken effort to make this program successful. And many people are there, I do not take their name also, I must thank them. Thank you students for coming in large number and asking many questions to me. Thank you all. Now we will stand up for national anthem and then we conclude. Please settle down. Yeah, take it a second.
Himalaya